Hi, Stevie. Thanks so much for being here. And to everyone listening, thank you for being here with us as well. This is the Stories of CSCA, our final episode of this 4-part mini-series where we have been going behind the scenes of the Central States Communication Association Conference planning. I am Abbie Van Meter, the host of the Stories Lived, Stories Told podcast, the executive director of the CMM Institute for Personal and Social Evolution. And I have so been enjoying having these conversations as I myself look forward to attending the CSCA conference this April in Minneapolis, where all of the participants of the conference will also have a chance to speak with me and be a part of a participant podcast we're putting together. But for now, we are hearing from the people who are behind the scenes, and it's just been really wonderful so far to hear the stories. So Stevie, I'm really looking forward to hearing the stories that you are going to be sharing with us today as well, specifically about the pre-conference and looking towards next year's 2027 conference as well. So Stevie, could you please introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Abbie. Yeah, my name is Dr. Stevie Munz. I am an associate professor at Utah Valley University, where I also serve as a department chair. And I am also the assessment coordinator for our general education program. And I'm super excited to be in charge of the pre-conference this year for Central States. The theme is Navigate, finding inspiration in uncharted terrain. And my dream and my vision with the theme is really to provide space to my colleagues in the field to think through those ongoings and experiences that are ever present in our professional lives and personal lives right now. And so, as folks are reading the theme, I'm really excited to see where this will go. The pre-conference is going to be kind of a kickoff of a variety of folks from the discipline at different ranks and have different experiences and different trainings. And so we're going to center ourselves really with this question of how do we understand human experience and how do we do this in this theme of navigating and moving through uncharted or complex terrain, because it's all around us. I'm excited to connect, folks from the K through 12 space to instructional folks, interpersonal, family comm. I myself am a trained oral historian and critical ethnographer, so I'm excited for those folks to be in the space. And those adjacent to me, also some of those performance folks. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I really have like a lot of passion and heart for Central States, even though I'm here in Provo, Utah today and this morning with you. This is kind of a full circle moment, I feel like, in my career. And so I'm really excited to kick off the pre-conference. Some of the folks on the panel for the pre-conference are really near and dear colleagues and mentors to me. And so big shout out to them and big thank you to them for coming and showing up and supporting this. So it's going to be a lot of fun when we all get together here in like less than a couple weeks.
Yes, yeah, it's so close. And I'm getting so excited and loving this theme of navigate that you're speaking about, because in my own experience too, particularly hosting a podcast, I have found that it is all about the navigation, like the process, the exploration, the meandering. Like sometimes I, end conversations or, the CMM Institute that I'm part of, we host different events. And there's a sense maybe at the end of a gathering of, I don't know, like an open-endedness where it's like, oh, I'm leaving
Mhm.
here with more questions than answers, maybe.
Yeah, yeah.
And that can feel really uncomfortable, but I think it's really important that we value the process itself. The outcome, yes, there are things we're working towards, better social worlds we want to be creating together in our communication, but what is the quality of that navigating? So I really am immediately resonating with this, and I'm curious about how you came to decide on this theme for the pre-conference and next year's conference.
Gosh, that's a good question. I think like all things, there's no specific like, point where you
Sure,
can be
sure.
like, oh, that's where it came to me. I, really believe in collaboration and mentorship and have a lot of close friends and colleagues. And I was chatting with them about kind of what they wanted to see and, where they were at and what they were feeling. And this kind of general tone and general perspective on the difficulties, some of the challenges that are going on right now in higher education, and also in our like personal and collective lives, what's going on. And there are always challenges. And in those challenges, probably because of my background in storytelling and narrative and oral history, we're trained in a way to think of stories and human experience as possibilities
Mm,
and as opportunities. And
yeah.
so they kind of came like full circle of like, maybe the theme for me is less like this specific thing and more really of a space to try to offer meaning making and space making together in this collective way.
Mhm.
And so I'm really excited about it because I think it speaks to what I have published a lot of my research in and where I've really spent a lot of time in my career. And it's really thinking through like, what does human experience mean and where do we take it and how do people fit into that and what can we learn from that and where can it go? And so I think it was kind of a real like evolution and
Mm,
then we landed here and I can't take full credit for the symbol. One of my really good friends, Tim McKenna Buchanan, many folks who listen to this will know who Tim is. Tim actually was instrumental in being like, this is what the design could look like. And then another really good friend of mine, Anna Wright, um, she helped also with the wordsmithing and kind of the vision of it. So there's always a team for me
mhm.
that I'm working with, and those folks are some of my, really close friends and beloved colleagues as well.
Yeah, what are you most looking forward to, or maybe what are you hoping for yourself or participants of this pre-conference?
Oh, I think that I'm hoping that people come together in the space and find a space that provides them an opportunity to be heard and to be
Mm,
listened to and to find meaning together. Academics spend a lot of their time alone, and we
mm,
do a lot of work that is isolated work. And so, conferences have always been, for me especially, and I know for a lot of my colleagues, pretty special places where that generative energy and that like really, powerful kind of synthetic energy and thinking can happen. And so I'm really hoping that this pre conference does that. And I'm hoping that it lifts people up who need to be lifted. I'm hoping it provides people space who need space. I'm hoping that we can think through some things that we also are maybe uncomfortable with and that we're like struggling with thinking through. I'm also hoping that we're going to challenge some things that we need to challenge and that we need to kind of keep pushing and turning the dial on. So I have high aspirations and big dreams.
yes.
And I think at the end of all of it, kind of if I think about what the ultimate goal is, I want it to be a space of like deeper collaboration and reflection,
Mm,
because that's where I really think we do good work. And that's where I think we start turning the dial and really creating for me spaces where they're more ethical, people can be seen, we can really start thinking through how to create these kind of cool spaces everywhere.
Yeah, it sounds like you're offering a real invitation for people to step into what you've just named about storytelling as this like expansion of possibilities. And like you said, all of us are in our own worlds at universities or institutions doing our own work. And then we come together and we share stories and our world expands through that. So I think that's a really beautiful invitation you're asking or offering to people. As we wrap up, is there anything else you want to say about, you've mentioned you're in Utah now, and yet you keep coming back to Central States. What's your favorite memory, or what is it about Central States that keeps you coming back?
Oh man. Gosh, there's not just one thing, of course, there are so many things, but it's the people,
Mhm.
it's my friends, the connections, the history, the general space, the generative energy in the space. I keep coming back for that. I started going to Central States when I was a master's student at Illinois State University, and I continued going to Central States from that point all the way now. And I live, in Orem. I don't live. I live in Salt Lake City, but I work in Orem, Utah. And so I keep coming back because the people, because the space, I keep coming back because of what the space has also professionally supported me in, and the
Mm.
opportunities I've been afforded through this space. And I hope to continue to foster that for folks in the future, and for others who are coming up, or for others who are looking for space and collaboration and colleagues. There's just, so many really good people who are doing really good work at Central States. Some truly like lifelong friends, and really great memories, birthdays that have been celebrated at Central States because people's birthdays
Mm.
overlap. Usually my friend Justin Rudnick, we went to PhD together. So if you listen to this, here's a shout out for you. We will usually celebrate his birthday because it overlaps, right? And so there's just memories and friends
Yep.
and so much there that is beyond just like the professional conference. And I hope that others feel the same way. And I hope that this is an invitation, if folks have not found that they are
Mm.
able to find that community, because I think community is so important and so critical. And it's really been transformative for me, I know, in my career. And I feel really
Mm.
fortunate to have a robust community with a lot of wonderful colleagues and friends, many of which who will be at Central States here in just a few weeks.
Oh yeah, yeah. That seems to be the consensus, I think, across all these episodes too. That it's the togetherness, and I think that's speaks to something really beautiful about Central States. That is kind of the through line for many
Yeah,
people's experience. So Stevie, thanks so much for your time today and for sharing these stories. And we'll look forward to seeing you in Minneapolis this April. And to everyone listening, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you then.
thank you. Bye.
Bye, everyone.